Hi, I'm Raven from That's So Raven, and you're watching Disney Channel.
So do you remember, like, a few weeks ago when all of this craziness started and Gal Gadot got some people together to do some nonsense, and then Vanessa Hudgens said some nonsense, and then a couple other people, you know, just threw their voices into the mix and also said and did some nonsense, and we said, you know what, you guys, we're done. We're done hearing from celebrities. We don't want to hear it anymore. Shut up. Shut up. We don't want to hear it anymore. Do you remember that? Well, Disney said, hold on, hold my beer. And honestly, we're not mad about it. Disney, thank you. Welcome, welcome. This is the only way that we would like to hear from celebrities from now on. And so we're going to talk about it. My name is Hidese, and I watch TV. And today, we're going to talk about Disney's Family Singalong that happened last night. Yes, you guys, please buckle in, sit down, relax. We will talk about it. It's nighttime. I'm not going anywhere, but I will be putting on some makeup. So what else can I say about that? The end. But yes, so last night, Disney decided that they were going to do a sing-along and gather a smorgasbord, truly a smorgasbord of celebrities to sing various Disney songs. And yeah, some of it was cute and some of it was so today we're gonna break down some of it, I mean all of it, and we're gonna talk about which ones we were like, thank you, we needed that, we wanted that, and which ones we really truly could have lived without. All right, so first we're going to talk about our host, Ryan Seacrest. Honestly, Ryan Seacrest has had a long lifetime of being a host. So if he had messed it up, it would have been embarrassing. So Ryan Seacrest as a host was fine. He did his job. There wasn't anything particularly spectacular about it. There wasn't anything that was groundbreaking, but he didn't mess up. So he was adequate. He did his job, and you know, 8 out of 10 would hire him again. Maybe 7.5 out of 10 would hire him again. My question is, was Kristen Chenoweth a host or not? Y'all needed to make up your mind on that, because that vocal warm-up that you had her do was nonsense. Either do the vocal warm-up or leave it alone. That's what am I messing up? Am I lying here when I say that? No. Either do a full at least give her 60 seconds. She did like 20 seconds of a vocal warm-up and she said, you guys, you're warm. Go forth and sing. We didn't need a warm-up. We're just casually lounging in our sweatpants after having done nothing all day. We were going to sing how we were going to sing. Either don't do it at all or at least give it a full 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. All right? Don't have people out here thinking they know how to vocally warm up after 20 seconds, not even 20 seconds. Don't stop wasting our time. Stop lying. That's not how we do it in business. That's not how anybody does it in the business. Stop telling lies. All right? Thank you. The opening number, I'm grabbing my notes because I don't have that good of memory, so I don't remember everything. But the opening number was Derek and Julianne Hough and a woman named Emily. They were singing Be Our Guest. They weren't singing it. They were just dancing to the soundtrack of Be Our Guest. And honestly, fantastic opening. Before I watched it, I was like doing some research. I was just looking at some things and I thought that the opening number was that Demi Lovato and Michael Bublé number, and y'all, I was about to be mad. We'll get to that at the end because they closed the show. But Derek, Julianne, and Emily as opening, phenomenal. That's what we needed. It was on point. They are all fantastic dancers. They showcased their strength. I thought that they were gonna be singing, and I was stressed, you guys. I was like, no, we don't want it. But they were not singing, they were just dancing beautifully. And it was just really nice to see them in those costumes in their kitchen. That was real cute. So I said, wow, we are off to an amazing start. The show is about to be phenomenal, right? If everybody hits it at this level, we are going to be out of this world amazing. Thank you. But our next thing was Josh Brogan's You've Got a Friend in Me, and that was actually really, really lovely. It was perfectly lovely. You know, he had all of these children also singing along with him, and Josh Brogan's voice, great. His voice is great. And that one, I'm like, yeah, it was good. It was one of those pieces in the whole thing that I was like, this is nice, but I could take it or leave it, you know? So that was my thought on that. Now we get to Little Big Town, who sang Spoonful of Sugar, and they thought that just because we're singing about a spoonful of sugar, we all have to be in our kitchens. And Little Big Town, they're a country band, I believe, and ma'am, they were all so camera shy. Every single one of them was so camera shy. Why? I just don't understand. Like, their kids, all of their kids were so cute, but all of the adults were the same level of camera shy as the children, except for the very first, like, the blonde woman in Little Big Town. She was the least awkward of all the adults. Are you not performers? Are you not, why are you at the same level of camera shyness as your children? Especially the one guy who is singing with his daughter. Are you, like, is it just one of those things because they're always behind their instrument is kind of a crutch? I almost said clutch. It's kind of a crutch for them. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like so, and they sang the whole song. They really sang the song from beginning to end. And there were some people who I was like, can we get a little bit more of this song? For them, I didn't need it. I didn't need the whole song. I didn't. Their children could not save them. And for some of these, the kids truly saved them, but for them, no. Their children did not save them. All right. Next, the next person was Cavallo of Moana fame, and she sang How Far I'll Go. There's not much to be said about that. It's her song. The girl can sing it in her sleep. She sang it beautifully. Next. That's all. Beyonce's surprise is all. Ryan Seacrest said, and we have, and up next is a message from Feeding America, right? And so we were ready for an ad. We were ready for some children to be like, please. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. That was terrible. Wow, I hate myself. No, we were just ready for some like kind of sappy ad of some sort to, you know, pull at our heartstrings. Instead, Beyonce was there to pull at our heartstrings, you know? And the song she sang, what did she sing? Was it A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes? Who sang that? Wow, how have I forgotten? I was just so mesmerized by her. I don't remember what she's saying now. Wow, I'm garbage. But I thought that it was perfectly lovely. It was definitely casual. Like, it looked like she was just on Snapchat. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it was, she didn't plan a whole production. She was just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And then pulled out her phone and then got on Snapchat and just kind of did it. So that's what it felt like, and it was really, really lovely. It wasn't like a performance level anything, but it was definitely like, I watched it a couple times, which is funny because I don't remember what she's saying. I think I just love watching Beyonce, and then she had a message at the top and at the bottom, and yeah, that was my thought on that. It was perfectly lovely. Amber Riley, her little niece is the most stinking cute little baby I have ever seen in my entire life. Her niece, obsessed. I'm obsessed with her niece. When they had her niece introducing her, why am I shaking? When they had her niece introducing her, it was so stinking cute. And then she sang Let It Go, and I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know why I'm shaking. Wow, weird. I'm not gonna lie, I always forget how sweet Amber Riley's voice is, because in my mind, I just always want her to like do the powerhouse and kind of stuff like that. And it's also interesting because Let It Go is such an iconic song, right? We all hear it in Idina Menzel's, or Adele Nazim if you are whatever his name is, John Travolta. But we all hear it in Idina Menzel's voice, you know, but Amber killed it. Amber Riley truly, truly killed it, and it was a rendition that didn't make me want to go and listen to the original, you know, and her voice was just so sweet in it, and so I heard it slightly differently than I hear it when Idina Menzel sings it, and I heard it and I wasn't thinking, God, I wish this was Idina Menzel, which is what often happens whenever I listen to people cover that song. So that's my thought on her cover. Next was Darren Chris's I Want to Be Like You. Ma'am, I'm obsessed with that man. I am fully obsessed. You know, lock me up, throw away the key, kind of obsessed with that man. It was so cute and so goofy and so fun. Oh my God. Who knew? Darren Criss. I mean, a lot of people knew. A lot of people are obsessed with him and have been obsessed with him. But it was just so playful. Like, it was so precious. So precious. And at the end, whenever he was making the monkey sounds and he had his like little banana shaker, oh, so precious. And I loved his cover on that song. It was different. And again, it was one that was really good, but didn't make me want to go and listen to the original. It was just good in its own right. So that's my thought on that. Next was the Broadway cast, who they had, what is wrong with my brain? They had Kristen Chenoweth introduce the Broadway cast of Aladdin, which is another, I'm like, is it just because she's a Broadway person that you brought her? They should have just made her a full-on host, all right? Because, like, I think, like I said, I think Ryan Seacrest did his job, but it was a little bit bland. Let's be honest, it was all a little bit, like, the hosting part was a little bit bland, and I think that they needed a little bit more, what's the word? Just excitement, or just a little break from the monotony. And they had that with her a little bit, and with Tracy Ellis Ross. I just think there could have been more. I think they should have had two hosts, and she should have been the other one. Now, we're going to talk about the cast of Broadway's Aladdin and James Monroe Iglehart. They were sabotaged, okay? They were sabotaged by Zoom, all right? I was so annoyed. Listen, I was so annoyed listening to that whole song because you could hear the magic that was happening. You could just hear the beauty and like just the love that was coming out of their mouths, but it felt like there was a filter over it. And so you couldn't hear it fully. You could sort of hear it, you could kind of hear it, you could mostly hear it, but you couldn't hear it all the way. And that was so heartbreaking. Like my little heart could not and would not take it. All right? My little heart could not, would not, and should not take it. All right? Like, they were sabotaged. Somebody should call up Zoom. They should talk to Zoom, because I'm mad. I'm mad. In fact, when I was done, I went and I listened to the cast recording of Aladdin, because I was like, I need to hear this in its purest, most beautiful, most unfiltered formation. Thank you. At some point in all of this, there was a performance-ish thing of Bare Necessities with Carrie Ann Inaba, someone named Marcus Schreiber, Erin Andrews, and Bobby Burns. Disney was right to downplay that. They did not need it. It should never have even happened. They should have gotten the recording of them doing their stuff and been like, thank you, we don't want it. Thank you, we will not be using it. We, A, did not need it. B, did not want it. And I think the best part of it was all the little children and all the normal families who they threw into that montage. But the actual people who, like the famous people, I was just like, y'all are so boring. Everybody else who is recording this from their homes, from their backyards, is showing you up. They showed you up. They showed you. Disney was so right to downplay it. So, yeah. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, so that's my thought on that number. Thank you. I'm not really sure exactly where it happened. In fact, guys, I'm gonna just, let me put this down because I need to talk about this next performer with my heart, with all of my heart. The next person was Ariana Grande. And I have one question, and one question alone for Ms. Ariana Grande is, who asked her to hit so hard with that cover of I Won't Say I'm in Love? She was absolutely, hands down, without a question in the world, the star of this entire, like, project, this entire performance. She was the single, lone, bright, shining, burning, bursting star of this whole thing. Like, Wow. Wow. What, like, how are we so blessed? When were we permitted to just exist? I'm not even an Ariana stan. I like her music. There's not a single album of hers that I have listened to all the way through. So, just so you know where I'm coming from this. But now, all girl bands, all boy bands can go ahead and step aside. Ariana's got it. Ariana has got the 5-part harmony. Listen, this is a song that I love. I listened to the Cheetah Girls version of this song a million, billion, trillion times. I've listened to that Hercules version of this a million, billion, trillion times. And I know, this better be on Spotify because I'm going to listen to it once all of this is over on my way to the store, on my way to work. I know that I will listen to this version a million, billion times. That's all there is to be said about that. It was phenomenal. Amazing. We don't deserve it. Amazing. Phenomenal. Amazing. Wow. Honestly, this whole thing was worth it just for that performance. The end. Thank you. Next was Alan Menken, Josh Katz, and Luke Evans. And they did the Gaston song. Honestly, look. Disney as we know it would not exist without Alan Menken. And if you think that I'm mistaken about that, then you need to do some research, boo-boo. Because all of the songs and all of the movies we loved from the 90s, his voice, his music was the soundtrack to it. You know what I'm saying? So, we were blessed to have his presence. But I think that Josh Getz kind of dropped the ball on that one a little bit. Like, the guy, Luke Evans, who played Gaston himself, I thought was great. I could watch him all day. But I thought that Josh Getz was doing the most. He was doing the absolute most. And we did not need it. So for me, for that reason, that number can go. I feel like I'm missing someone. I'm not at the end yet, but yeah, for me, that number could have gone completely from this, and I wouldn't have missed it at all. I wouldn't have noticed. In fact, I might be a little bit glad. No, I don't think I would be glad, but I don't think I would have, noticed. So far, the only number that I would be glad if it was gone was the Little Big Town number. I truly did not care for it. Their kids are real cute, though. Their kids are real cute. I'll follow them on Instagram just to, creep on their adorable little kids, but the number itself was a hard pass for me. But the Gaston number, I feel very lukewarm about it. So, on to the next. Okay, Donny Osmond, I was very, very pleasantly surprised by his number because Donny Osmond is someone who, every time that I see him perform, he's a very, very, he's been, as they say in the thing, he's been in the business for 60 years or almost 60 years or just over 60 years. 60 years, somewhere is the number in that. And it shows sometimes because he's very, very show busy in the way that he performs sometimes. Sometimes he's just kind of wow, I'm done it. You know what I mean? It's so much. And so I was apprehensive to see his performance. But he started and I was like, oh, this is gonna get out of control. I could see the map. But then his grandkids got in and all of them are so cute. Every single one of his cute little grandkids are so stinking cute. They're so cute. And I ended up being incredibly charmed, so charmed by their Mulan, Make a Man Out of You. What's that song called? Oh, you know what I mean. You know the song, How Can I Make a Man Out of You? That song. I ended up being incredibly charmed by their rendition of it. And so, yeah, that's how I felt about that. And speaking of Mulan, we all know that famous cover of Reflections that Christina Aguilera did, and I think it was very well timed. I think maybe they thought she was gonna sing that song, and that's why they put her after Donny. And she said, "Nah, I'm gonna sing something different." So the next person was Christina Aguilera. Why did I not write down what she sang? What is wrong with me? What did she sing? Okay, so Christina Aguilera sang "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" Christina Aguilera, her voice is phenomenal. Christina Aguilera is one of those artists who I consistently forget. Like, I don't forget about her, but I underestimate or undervalue her talent sometimes. And so she'll say or do something and I'm like, oh, Christina, who asked you? Please shut up. And then she'll open her mouth to sing. And I'm like, you know, I'm sorry. I completely forgot that you're our queen. I completely forgot that your voice can move mountains. I completely forgot that. Let me just shut my mouth and mind my business and leave. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Thanks for informing me of my nonsense. Thank you. And so she sang, Can You Feel the Love? Tonight. And it was so simple, so understated, so gorgeous, and just absolutely stunning. And so that was hers, very simple. Jordan Fisher, who's a person who I have no idea, I'm not sure if he sang a cover of this song and that's what was playing against his dancing, or I'm not really sure what the song, like the song was, Under the Sea, but to me it didn't sound quite like the original one, but maybe like my brain was just distorting what I was hearing for some reason. But it was just like a fun little number with kids dancing to Under the Sea, and it was real cute. That one was definitely like the most heartwarming of all of like the montages that we got, and I really enjoyed it. Next we had Tori Kelly with Colors of the Wind, and Colors of the Wind is actually my favorite Disney Channel song. I just said Disney Channel, didn't I? Colors of the Wind is my favorite Disney song, period. And because Pocahontas is my favorite Disney movie, also, period. And I thought she did a nice job. I really like Tori Kelly's voice, and she's one of those artists who I'm like, I recognize that you're a great singer, but like I don't particularly enjoy the style of music you make. And her cover of Colors of the Wind reminds me a lot of Christina Aguilera's cover of Reflections, because it's one that kind of just makes you want to go and listen to the original. You know, it was a good cover and she's absolutely talented, but it just like wasn't particularly, I think it just wasn't different enough. It was just slightly different to where you couldn't follow it if you know the original by heart, but it wasn't different enough for her to have made it her own. And that's kind of the in-between space that I feel like her song lives in. That's not what I'm saying about Reflections. I think the reason why Reflections makes me want to listen to the original is Christina straight up changes the words to some of it, so you can't even sing along a little bit. Like, she changes, also, like, she does her style, because Christina can't sing anything straight. This, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, was the most straight she's ever sang anything, and it was gorgeous. It was, I mean, she always sounds beautiful. But Tori Kelly's Colors of the Wind, it wasn't different enough for me to be satisfied with her version, and it just made me want to go and listen to the original. That John Stamos thing was a mess. Again, they were very smart to have downplayed it and to have pivoted away from him as quickly as they did, because he can't sing, number one. Number two, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. And number three, neither did his kid. His wife was the only, like the whole thing felt as if his wife was like, oh honey, we should really do this, and he just really didn't want to, and because he was like, it'll look bad if I don't. That's what it felt like. Obviously that's probably not what happened. I don't know anything about these people's lives, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. So that was a mess. Disney was very smart to have downplayed it significantly, and it was also another one of those moments that there was a montage of other families singing it. I personally didn't need John Stamos' family in it. I would have rather it just have been a collection of strangers. So that's the part of that thing that I was like, why are we here? Why is this happening? Please keep it pushing. Thank you. Next was Thomas Rhett. I don't know that man singing Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Let me tell you, I don't know that man. After this performance, I don't care to know that man, because it was, again, that thing of having no sort of chemistry with the camera. I was 100% more interested in watching the little children who were singing with him. 3,000%. 3,000,000%. I don't know how many more percent I can say that. The little kids were adorable, and the little kids did not, and would not save him. Because it was boring. So boring. It was boring. Okay, it was so freaking boring. And number 2, the key was changed to fit him, and he was still singing off key. What are we supposed to do with that, Thomas? What? Please explain to me. What is it that we are supposed to do with that? The key is changed for you, and you're still singing off key. Make it make sense. I am begging you. Just make it make sense. Thank you. Could have done without that entire number. We could have used the little kids in some other aspect because they were real cute, but they could not save that number. Thanks. Next was High School Musical. Next was High School Musical. High School Musical, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to be like this because I was ready to be salty. I was ready to have a little salt attack on it. But I ended up really I found myself smiling at the end. It was really nice. It was really lovely. You could tell that they were playing the backing track from the movie underneath everybody singing, which was whatever. I do want to hear more of like this new cast singing the original song. I'm sure they actually do in the musical. I don't care enough to, in the series, I don't care quite enough. Oh no, I don't care quite enough to like go and watch the series for real. But and the whole Zac Efron thing, everyone was like spotty Wi-Fi made him miss it, as if this was all just one live Zoom call. Why are we telling lies, Disney? Why? Stop the lies. We need to stop the lies, all right? So, anyway, question number 2 about that is, what am I mistaken in some way? What business does Raven-Symoné have with High School Musical? I mean, if you were trying to be a part of this, you had yourself a little mini music career on Disney Channel, so why not sing one of your songs? What business does Raven-Symoné have? And don't get me wrong, I love to see Raven, but my thing about that is, if there wasn't so much tea and so much drama going on with the Cheetah Girls, maybe you would have rightfully been there, or just do your own separate song. Why? It doesn't make sense. Why you're there? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, the closing number, the final number. I have beef, you guys, with the final number, because Michael Bublé irks my soul. Let me tell you, I have a lot of issues with the final number. Let me tell you why Michael Bublé irks my soul. The Lord, our good Lord, our good Lord gave Michael Bublé such a beautiful voice, and Michael Bublé consistently insists on using that voice in the most boring way. Think of any Michael Bublé song that you've ever enjoyed. Now go back and listen to it, and you'll see how much variance and how much excitement you put into that song with your own brain, because he sure didn't. He sure didn't. I will never understand. I cannot understand. I refuse to understand why this man will not put any sort of sugar, any sort of spice into anything he does. He's just like, well, I can sing, so let me just sing. That's all. Let me just sing. And another thing too is his face was so bland. It was just like, it almost looked a little bit like he was trying to catch a man through the camera. And we know Michael Bublé has let us know several times that he's not trying to catch a man with his Santa buddy. But it was just kind of like giving the camera eyes. Why? Who asked for this, Michael? And then I'm heated because they should have just left that song to Demi. She had it handled. Her portion of the song, phenomenal. Her portion of the song, beautiful. Her portion of the song, engaging. Her portion of the song, inspirational. His portion of the song, boring. They should have just left that song to Demi. Why did she have to share a song at all? Who is Michael Bublé? We don't care about Michael Bublé. Why? And that's what you're going to close on? You're going to open so wonderfully and close in part with Michael Bublé? Why? Why? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's fine. It's okay. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this Disney Family Singalong that we all just witnessed. It's on Hulu right now for, I believe, like a week or so. So if you haven't seen it and you do want to see it, definitely go check it out before it's off Hulu. And it said episode 1 on there, which maybe leads you to believe that there will be an episode 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, depending on how long that we are all stuck in here. I wonder how much they were paid for it. A little bit of me hopes that everybody did it pro bono, and all of the profits and stuff are gonna go towards paying the crew and towards you know, giving to hospitals and Feeding America, which they did talk about through it, and stuff like that. But you know, it's show business and people are always trying to get that money. So if they do another part, y'all, listen, we would all be here for it. We would be so here for it if they could just maybe get the Cheetah Girls back together. Look, I didn't say it, I said it. I didn't say it, but I did say it. So, you know, if they could do that for us, we wouldn't be mad. Yeah, so highlight of the entire thing was Ariana Grande's 5-part harmony of I Won't Say I'm in Love. The end. At this point, it's silly to try to act like Ariana Grande is not talented. Who are you? Stop it. Yeah, and those are my thoughts. And let me know down in the comments if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.